There are so many performances of the U.S. national anthem. Like so many. Listen to how it's changed over the years, and you might hear how America has changed too. Today, we're taking a look at over 2 centuries of the Star Spangled Banner, the turns it's taken, the artists who have tackled it, and how the song has evolved alongside the country it's about. So the first thing you need to know is that the national anthem is actually set to the tune of an older British song. You hear the quicker tempo compared to what we're used to today? When you remember that Francis Scott Key wrote the Star Spangled Banner after watching the Battle of Baltimore during the War of 1812, it makes sense that the song slowed down and became more of a tribute to military sacrifice. Even in the earliest known recordings, the anthem definitely sounds recognizable, but also definitely sounds old. Less bombastic, little instrumentation, but also a playground for vocal harmonies. Vocal performances are one of the main points of conversation for the U.S. national anthem. We spoke with vocal coach Beth to hear her expert opinion.
I feel like the American national anthem is quite different. One, it is really hard to sing, and everyone, at least in modern day, has a completely different take on it. So you can hear all the static on that, and that changes a lot about how you sing. You have to make it so much clearer. Now, this is due to the limitations of the technology. It literally is a little pin that scratches into wax. People had to sing in a specific way. It was less about being dramatic and more about being very smooth and controlled.
Artists have always loved putting their stamp on the anthem. But that hasn't stopped artists from using the song to make some pretty bold political statements. An abolitionist newspaper published another new version for the anti-slavery movement, calling attention to the irony of land of the free in a time where millions were not free. The song even transcended language barriers, getting translated to other languages as the face of our nation changed. In 2006, a new Spanish adaptation was recorded as the country underwent protests for immigration reform. Though it was based on a translation from 1919, some people felt that the new lyrics took too many liberties. Some felt the lyrics shouldn't be translated at all. When American music was in its big band era, the country was fighting in World War II and looking to rally its citizens. Through it all, the Star Spangled Banner went back to its roots, a celebration of America's strength. The song became a staple of baseball games and military bands. Big orchestral renditions, heavy on the brass, brought new energy to the 120-year-old melody. Trumpets, trombones, sweeping violins, swelling French horns painted a picture of American prosperity.
Now, this isn't so far away from the really old-timey versions of this song, but it still has a couple of differences. First of all, Kate Smith was an untrained singer. She sung in church, and that is how she learned to sing. And she's embodying both that tradition, but making it that little bit more relatable. Also because she would be able to be mic'd at the time, so she could definitely project and make that big sound, but she could also step back the real over-enunciation.
Wartime sentiments had a very different effect on the anthem in the 60s and 70s. As the Vietnam War raged and a new counterculture formed, the Star Spangled Banner became a canvas for experimentation and even protest. The same setting that helped cement the Star Spangled Banner as tradition, the baseball game, became the site of controversy for the song when Jose Feliciano did the honors during the 1968 World Series. The guitarist turned the song into a folksier ballad, a slower tempo, more soulful singing. He faced backlash. His songs were dropped from radio. Even though Feliciano explained it wasn't meant as protest, he was just trying to make an old standard more fun. But the stunt fueled hate towards the Puerto Rican musician, even calls for him to be deported. Still, a bigger break from tradition will come less than a year later from Jimi Hendrix. The guitar legend turned heads when he went way outside the box with his own rendition, most famously at Woodstock in 1969. His guitar did the singing, and he threw in some crazy melodies, distortion, and a whammy bar that seemed to depict actual bombs bursting in air and the flag actually waving. Reactions were varied. Michael Wadley, the director of the Woodstock documentary, recalled the crowd being so ecstatic, so stunned, moved. But other mainstream listeners took offense. Hendrix's band even received threats of violence, and he wasn't shy about why he was doing this either.
Here's a song that we was all brainwashed with. Remember this oldies but goodies?
But Hendrix's version was as much a protest of an America at war as it was an exercise of an American ideal, the freedom of expression. In 1975, the godfather of soul would also make a statement with the song when he performed it before a hotly anticipated boxing match between Muhammad Ali and Chuck Wepner. After belting out Land of the Free, James Brown reiterated, "We've got to be free," and added a call and response, adding in lyrics from the Black national anthem.
Free! Lift every voice and sing till every heaven ring, and the home of the brave.
The hymn Lift Every Voice and Sing has been considered the official song for the NAACP and the Black national anthem since 1919. And James Brown was onto something. During the first week of the 2020 season, the NFL played Lift Every Voice and Sing before each game, and now it's regularly played before the Star Spangled Banner during the Super Bowl.
And sing till earth and heaven.
And the ritual of playing the song is also an avenue for commentary. 1968, Mexico City, the Olympics. Two American sprinters, Tommy Smith and John Carlos, are perched atop the podium with their medals as the Star Spangled Banner plays. They each raise a fist, a black power salute to protest racial inequality. They're suspended from the games and sent home. 48 years later, NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick takes a knee during the anthem.
For the land.
A stance against police brutality and a show of support for the Black Lives Matter movement. The move inspired a slew of debate, and Kaepernick sued the league, claiming he was blackballed by teams because of his actions. The NFL ultimately settled the case. In the decades to come, countless artists would continue the tradition of personalizing the anthem. The Super Bowl, the most watched TV event in the country, used to enlist marching bands, choruses, or big band singers to perform the national anthem. And in 1982, the league turned to Diana Ross for its first big pop star booking. Ross turned the Star Spangled Banner into a banner for her star power.
All right, the pop divas. This era is really, really fun because this is when people really started to be expressive with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you
So her
see?
version isn't as diva-ish as the later versions. She's making it approachable. She isn't adding extra notes. She isn't changing the melody. She's keeping it similar to that original version, but yet she has that pop tone.
Whitney Houston followed suit at the game in 1991, my favorite version.
And I have to clap because it's so good. I love this version, and I think it is the most widely recognized as the best version of the national anthem. It is more about creating a performance that makes people feel something and they can sit back and listen and enjoy rather than participating in. Her version, it's just glorious.
Oh, say can you sing?
You can hear that she can be even breathier and smaller, and again, this is advancements in microphone technology that you can literally be so tiny.
And we dare not forget Beyonce. With the anthem now cemented as a talent showcase, more and more artists have come to lightly stylize the song on the nation's biggest stage. The Star Spangled Banner has inspired everything from praise to ridicule to parody to debate. The Star Spangled Banner holds a major sway over society. It's both an old standard and a radical vehicle, a relic of a younger America and a canvas on which we paint what's still to come. As America celebrates its 250th anniversary, we know the American experiment is never finished, and neither, it seems, is its national anthem.